Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. When a man misses you secretly, it's a whole different ball game. See, men got this funny thing called ego. We walk around acting tough, pretending we don't feel anything, like we're too strong to care. But deep down, oh, it's a storm brewing inside. Because missing somebody, that ain't just emotion, that's a wake-up call to the soul. When a man misses you secretly, his pride wrestles with his emotions in ways he can't even explain. See, a man's pride is his armor. It's the thing he wears to protect himself from vulnerability, from looking weak, from admitting he cares more than he pretends to. When he starts to miss you, that armor starts to crack. He doesn't want anyone to see it, not even himself. He'll keep that same confident face, that same calm tone, but inside, his thoughts are loud, restless, and full of you. And he might scroll through his phone, hovering over your name, wanting to send a message, but stopping himself every time. That's pride talking. It tells him, don't be the first to reach out. She might think you're desperate. But deep down, the heart's whispering, you know you miss her. That inner conflict creates a storm, one that no one else can see but him. He starts remembering things he told himself he didn't care about. The sound of your laughter, the way you said his name, the little things you used to do that he brushed off. Suddenly, those details aren't so small anymore. They're echoes in his mind. He might even get irritated for no reason, snapping at people, losing focus at work. Because missing someone secretly eats at your peace. He doesn't want to admit it, so he buries it under distractions, hanging out with friends, going to the gym, talking to other women, but it doesn't help. That feeling always finds its way back. It's like a shadow he can't shake off. And here's the thing, men are taught not to show emotions. Society tells them missing someone makes them soft, so he hides it. He'll act unbothered, like everything's fine, but when the night gets quiet, when nobody's around, that's when it hits hardest. He'll replay conversations, wondering if he said something wrong, if he could have done something different. That's the part where his pride starts losing the fight, because the truth starts sinking in. He didn't just lose a woman, he lost a connection, a calm, a sense of belonging. Pride can't feel that emptiness. He might convince himself that time will make him forget, but every day that passes reminds him how wrong he was. That silent battle becomes heavier. The more he resists his feelings, the more they control him. Eventually, his heart starts to win small moments. Maybe he'll like one of your old posts or bring you up casually in conversation. That's not accident. That's his emotions finding little cracks in his pride. Because when a man truly misses you, he can't keep pretending forever. His body language changes, his energy shifts, and no matter how hard he tries to hide it, something gives him away. Missing you becomes a quiet war inside him, the man he wants to be versus the man his heart is pushing him to become. And when pride and emotion collide like that, one thing always happens. The truth starts speaking louder than the silence. When a man misses you secretly, his attention begins to shift back toward you in ways that seem small but carry deep meaning. It's not always a grand gesture, not a confession or a message that says, I miss you. No. It's the subtle things that tell the story. He might find himself scrolling through his phone late at night, landing on your name without even realizing it. Maybe he stops on an old picture of you two, Maybe he replays a voice note you once sent just to hear your tone again. It's not something he plans. It just happens because your presence left a mark that routine can't erase. Every time his day slows down, your memory sneaks in. It's in the quiet moments when his mind starts to wonder that your image appears, and suddenly he's thinking about you again, about what you said, what you wore, how you made him feel at peace without even trying. He'll start noticing things that remind him of you, a song that used to play when you were together, a phrase you used to say, a scent that passes by in a crowd. It all triggers something inside him. He might hear a song come on the radio and pause for a second, lost in thought. He might pass by a place you both used to visit, and for a moment time slows down. His heart stirs, and though he won't admit it, it's because those memories still hold weight. That's the power of connection. It lingers even when pride tries to bury it. Those small reminders keep tugging at him, pulling his attention back to where his heart still quietly belongs. Even when he tries to distract himself, it doesn't last long. He might throw himself into work, into hanging out with friends, or into talking to someone new, but no matter what he does, it feels off. There's something missing, a certain energy, a comfort that only you brought. It frustrates him because he can't explain it. He thought moving on would be easy, but instead, he's haunted by memories that feel too alive to ignore. Every time he thinks he's moved forward, something small, a picture, a song, a random thought, pulls him 2 steps back. That's how you know he's missing you secretly. His focus keeps drifting toward the past, no matter how hard he tries to live in the present. He may not say a word about it, but his energy gives him away. You can sense when a man's mind is still with you. He'll act fine in public, but there's a stillness in him when your name comes up, a pause that speaks louder than words. His friends might notice he's quieter, more thoughtful. He'll brush it off saying he's just tired or busy, but deep down, his attention has turned inward toward the moments he shared with you. And though he won't send that text or make that call, the truth is you've already crossed his mind more times than he can count. The smallest things, things you never expect, have become gentle reminders of what once made him feel whole. When a man misses you secretly, his energy starts revealing what his mouth refuses to admit. He might not say the words, but his actions, his expressions, and even his silence begin to speak for him. You'll notice it in the way he looks at you if you happen to cross paths, that split-second glance that lingers just a little too long. He tries to act casual to play it cool, but his eyes give him away. That's the truth about energy. It doesn't lie. A man can mask his emotions with words, but he can't hide what his spirit is feeling. When he's around you, he'll get quiet. He'll listen more, observe more, almost as if he's soaking in your presence without wanting to admit how much he's missed it. That silence, that hesitation, that shift in energy, it's the unspoken confession of a man fighting his own feelings. He might start showing signs of restlessness without realizing why. When a man misses you, something in him feels off balance. He could be surrounded by people, but he'll still feel that emptiness. You used to bring a sense of calm to his world, and now that you're not there, he feels that absence like a missing piece. It's not just emotional, it's physical. He might lose focus, stay up late, scroll aimlessly, or overthink small things. His friends may notice he's distracted, but he won't tell them why. That's because his pride keeps his heart on lockdown. Still, the energy around him shifts. He's not as confident, not as steady. It's like his mind is occupied by something he doesn't want to talk about but can't let go of either. And sometimes that energy turns into jealousy. He might see something that reminds him you've moved on, maybe a post, a story, or just the idea that someone else could be where he used to stand, and it stings. He'll pretend it doesn't matter, but deep down, it does. Missing someone secretly often comes with a quiet sense of regret. He starts wondering if you still think about him, if you still care, or if he's been completely forgotten. That uncertainty gets under his skin. He'll act unbothered, but he'll start checking your updates, looking for signs, searching for traces of himself in your life. That's the kind of energy no man can hide for long. It leaks through his words, his tone, his behavior. Every emotion he tries to bury ends up showing in the way he moves. He may become more protective if he's near you, more gentle when he talks, or even more defensive when your name comes up. It's not intentional, it's instinct. His body reacts before his pride can catch up. When a man misses you secretly, he's at war with his own emotions. He wants to move on, but his heart keeps dragging him back. He wants to act strong, but every time he hears your name or remembers your face, that mask cracks a little. That's when you realize, even in silence, even in distance, his energy still belongs to you. When a man misses you secretly, something inside him starts to humble. He begins to see things from a different lens, one that wasn't available when his pride was in charge. Missing you becomes more than an emotional ache. It turns into a quiet teacher. It makes him think about what he had and how easily he took it for granted. At first, he might fight it. He'll try to convince himself that he's fine, that he's better off, that he doesn't need anyone. But the truth slowly sinks in, and that truth is heavy. He starts to realize that your presence brought him peace, your words brought him clarity, and your energy brought him balance. That realization humbles him because now he's face to face with what he lost. Not just a person, but the feeling of being understood, respected, and loved genuinely. A man's ego often blinds him in the moment. When things were good, he probably thought you'd always be there. He might have overlooked the effort you put in, the patience you showed, the love you gave so effortlessly. But once you're gone, the silence gets louder. He starts noticing the difference between noise and peace, between company and connection. That's when humility starts creeping in. Missing you shows him how much he needed what he once took lightly. He starts replaying moments where he could have done better, when he could have listened instead of arguing, when he could have appreciated instead of assuming. He begins to feel that sting of regret, not because of what happened, but because he finally understands what your presence truly meant. There's something powerful about distance. It forces people to face the truth they've been avoiding. For a man, that truth often comes with a dose of humility. He realizes that you weren't just someone in his life, you were part of the reason his days felt brighter, his thoughts clearer. Without you, he feels the difference. It's not chaos, it's emptiness. It's the absence of that calm, loving energy that grounded him. That absence teaches him what presence really means. Missing you humbles him because it exposes his weaknesses, his inability to express, to value, to nurture what he cared for. It reminds him that love isn't guaranteed, that once you lose someone real, You don't get that same feeling twice. As time passes, he stops trying to fill the void with temporary fixes. He starts reflecting. He learns to listen to that quiet voice that says, you should have treated her better. That's not guilt. That's growth. It's the moment when a man starts to mature emotionally. Missing someone doesn't just make him sad, it reshapes him. It turns arrogance into appreciation, distraction into awareness. It teaches him that strength isn't about pretending not to care. It's about being man enough to admit when something or someone truly mattered. And as he sits in that realization, the humility becomes his turning point. He starts to understand that love isn't about possession, it's about presence. And when that lesson settles in, he finally understands what losing you really cost him. Not attention, not comfort, but a piece of his peace. When a man misses you secretly, he begins to appreciate your absence in a way he never appreciated your presence. It's strange how the human heart works. We rarely see the full value of something until it's gone. When you were around, he probably thought your care, your patience, and your love were just part of the routine. He got used to your kindness. He took your consistency as a given. But once that stops, once your voice fades from his daily life, once your energy no longer fills his space, the silence starts to teach him lessons that words never could. Suddenly, he realizes that the things he used to overlook were the very things holding him together. Your good morning texts, your thoughtful reminders, your laughter, all those moments that seem small now echo in his mind with weight and meaning. At first, he might convince himself he's fine. He'll say he's busy, that he doesn't think about you, that life goes on. But deep down, that's just denial speaking. Because as the days pass, he starts to feel that shift, that emptiness in the places where you used to exist. His mornings feel quieter, his nights feel longer, and even when he's surrounded by people, something feels missing. That something is you. It's the presence of someone who genuinely cared, someone who made his life softer and more peaceful. It's then that he starts realizing your worth, not as a reaction to losing you, but as a truth he can no longer ignore. The beauty of distance is that it gives perspective. When a man doesn't have you to lean on anymore, he starts noticing what you carried silently. He remembers how you supported him when he didn't even ask, how you understood him without explanation, how your presence made everything feel lighter. Now he sees that it wasn't just love, it was effort, consistency, and heart. And that realization stings. It makes him wish he had shown more gratitude when he had the chance. He begins to understand that love isn't about how much time you spend together, it's about the peace you bring into someone's life. And no matter how many distractions he tries to use, work, friends, or someone new, that peace doesn't come back the same way. As he sits in that realization, the appreciation grows stronger. He starts replaying moments when you smiled through his mistakes, when you gave him grace instead of anger. It humbles him because he knows he didn't give you that same grace back. Your absence becomes his teacher. Every time something good happens, he wishes he could share it with you. Every time something goes wrong, he wishes you were there to calm him down. That's how missing turns into appreciation. When he finally sees what love looks like after losing it. And the more time passes, the clearer it becomes to him that what you brought into his life wasn't ordinary. It was rare. it was steady, and it was real. And once a man realized